the intro and then we'll go straight on it. Hey, there we go. I messed up at the start. A little bit on there. Oh, well, welcome everyone
as we need to go on.
Episode.
Crack face can open, Hunter.
Yeah, get that. That's for sure. So, yeah, I guess welcome everyone to the first episode of MTB After Ride Pub Chat. So you've got the Gib MTB, Mark. You've got Jonathan, MTB Derbyshire. You've got Stopper Doodle Jason. And you've got the man himself, Dave Gemby. And then, lastly but not least, myself, electric mountain biker. So there it is, all live. This is a bit surreal, isn't it?
Very. What are we doing here?
It's a bit odd. I've not got a beer. I've got a cold. So,
I've got a cold beer.
Hangover.
Cold one.
I didn't think you had a t-shirt on then for a minute, to be honest with you, Jason. We were looking at that, but it's a nice little pale red t-shirt, isn't it?
Well, no, I've actually...
You've all come here for top fashion tips, I think.
It's actually a riding top. I don't know why I put it on. I do actually. I was filming something the other day, and I thought, oh, this is comfortable. So I put it on there.
You've been doing a lot of filming recently, haven't you? Getting out and getting your videos up on there. Different content.
Yeah, not a lot of riding, but a fair bit of filming. A lot of it. I really should cut my grass, really, shouldn't I?
Grass this time of year.
You can film it. I'm sure you'd make that funny.
The neighbour's cat's been laying mines in there, so I'll leave it for the time being.
What were you saying then, Dave, about Jason's video?
Well, his last video was really good. Really smart video.
Yeah.
About the YouTube experience with a mountain biker. Like, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Like, there's a lot of downsides, isn't it?
God, yeah. You know, and I guess we all started out the same. You know, you start filming stuff, and then you start editing, and you don't really put much effort into it. So I'll just put that bit there and that bit there. And as it goes on, you realise more and more that you've got to mess around to make it actually watchable. I mean, I look back at some of my early stuff and I cringe. It's just awful. But you know, I think, I don't know how you guys feel, but this lockdown has made me really think about what I want videos to look like and what I want them to be like. And it's not POV anymore. It really isn't.
Packing it in then. I mean, for me, I think it's certainly given me plenty of time to, well, it gives us time, doesn't it, to spend a bit extra editing. Whereas I think before it was just, I used to use Movie Maker, it was chop, done. But now definitely spend a bit more time, a bit more effort. You know, the results are better, so.
Definitely. I'm just looking at some of these comments. Have you seen these coming in? Who's this Dexter Fletcher? There's a rogues gallery if ever I saw one. Mr. Lloyd, Dave with a few exclamation marks there after it for you. What else have we got coming on here? Let's have a look. Jimbo's got a 6-pack in the fridge. Yeah, it's definitely not on your belly like on mine either, that's for sure. I know where you're feeling that.
It's doing no good in the fridge, is it? You'll be drinking it.
Yeah. Evening.
You get a few requests as well, Dave. Get some new videos, please. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Darcy Phillips. Hey guys, great to see you all sat down, not plastered in mud, with helmets on and dirty GoPros. Thanks for all you posts have kept me sane for the last 12 months. That'd be Jason's one. I think Jason's kept quite a few people going through these lockdowns with his style of videos.
As I say, it got to the point there's no choice but to think of something different to do. I don't want to go back to how it was first lockdown of just riding around Chester. It's flat and it's rubbish. And back then the trails are dry. It was all right, you know, it wasn't great. But now it's just so much effort to get anywhere. Like literally, it's just thick, gloopy mud. And nobody wants to watch me plodding around, breathing out my ass just moaning about stuff, do they?
I think they do.
Well,
We'll see in the comments. Put it after the comments.
I've literally got nothing around by me whatsoever to ride. It's horrific. I did a 16-mile loop, and in total it was 65 feet of elevation. And I reckon that was the curbs that was going up and down just to find some fun. It's awful.
I've only got Canal Pass. I've only been out once. I've only been out once since we did the Lancashire ride.
Okay.
So
I guess it's red.
And now I'm drinking beer, so I'll be unfitter than ever.
So that's where Jonathan and Dave have it lucky, because you've got half decent trails on your doorstep, haven't you?
Yeah, really lucky, to be honest. I mean, I'm sort of 3 miles from. There's a corner of the Peak District that's about 3 miles from my house, and I can easily get up to that. I mean, I did 26 miles the other way. I was going through Chatsworth. I was going through, not just showing off here, but it is. It's not bad on the doorstep, that's for sure.
Definitely. Do you know what? Just on that one, Darcy, I know. I'm sure I read a comment. Was it on Facebook or somewhere? It was Mark and Jason. He's asking. He obviously doesn't want me, Jonathan, or Dave, to be honest with you, but to go on that Lady Bower loop. I don't know why you wouldn't want us three, but screw you.
It's because of your bloody scooter, isn't it?
Yeah, with my chubby legs.
All of you, can they?
Yeah. Don't worry, his chubby legs cancel out the electricity.
They will at the moment. Jeez, it's that's turned into a cuddly person. Who else have we got on here? Mitko as well. Hello, everyone, and cheers. Cheers to you as well, mate. Are you enjoying that? Who's this? Hello as well.
That's my daughter.
Hello. Brilliant.
Drumming up family members with a half decent audience size.
Yeah. But Dave, this one's for you actually, mate. So I'll let you answer this.
Yeah, well, basically, I've got an issue with my arm at the minute. It's not caused by mountain biking. It's been caused by window cleaning. So I've got what's called cubital tunnel syndrome in my arm. And it's from doing repetitive strain injury all day, doing the same job, cleaning windows all day with a water-fed pole. And basically, I'm having to sleep with a splint on my arm to keep my arm straight. And I could do like a canal ride, so I could maybe do a video of me on a canal, but that ain't going to be interesting to watch. So I can't really do aggressive like downhill mountain biking at the minute or jumps or anything because my arm's just not up to it. So I don't know, hopefully I'm hoping to go back to work next week because I haven't worked since before December. So like late December I finished work. So I haven't been at work for about 6 weeks, 7 weeks. So next week I'm going to go back to work and hopefully I'll be all right. We'll see how I get on. But if I'm all right, then I'll be able to put some more videos up and get biking again.
You know what, Dave? One of my favourite videos of yours was, I think it was an XC ride you did just locally. And you went through some ridiculously muddy fields and had a tantrum and stuff like that. And it was fantastic because you were just being you and chatting to the camera and getting stuck in mud. And it was brilliant. And I don't think people tune in to watch you ride crazy places. They tune in to watch you. I'm not saying go to the canal because it's the canal, isn't it? But literally, you can feel yourself fixing a puncher and everybody will be riveted.
I could do it first ride back. I might do an XC ride, just see how I get on with that. And then if my arm feels okay, then maybe ramp it up a little bit. But that's the reason anyway. I haven't been riding at all for about 6-7 weeks. It's getting a bit annoying, to be honest. Because I've got some decent trails by me as well. So yeah.
Well, at least Ben's got quite a lot of content he can go back and watch now if he's just come across your channel. And then by the time he gets up to date, you might be back out riding again on that.
Yeah, plenty of crashes for him to watch anyway.
Yeah. I remember watching you when I first came across your channel. I remember watching that, and I don't mind admitting it. I thought, well, if this guy can do it, surely I can do it. But it's only when you get on that bike and you think, yeah, all right, this is actually a lot scarier and harder than what you think. And then that's when I appreciated just how much balls you've got, because you just keep getting back up and smashing yourself back down into the ground again, don't you?
The GoPro effect, man. The GoPro effect makes everything look nothing. And then when you get there, it's like totally different, isn't it? When you're there at first.
God, yeah.
We all had those comments on the videos, haven't we? Oh, that doesn't look too bad, does it? And then you turn up there, and it's just like, yeah, but have a look at it now and then see if it's a brave.
But they should know. I mean, surely everyone's had that experience. You've all seen videos and then go there and then realise, yeah, it's not that. You know, we've all had those moments, surely.
I think people are watching now realise that, but when I first started doing videos, I don't think they did. It's like now everyone's aware of it, you know what I mean? Everyone knows about that now.
Sure.
It's definitely a thing. Definitely.
It's Mr. Lloyd. He's looking for a group ride with you all as soon as lockdown is over. Yeah, I think we're all agreed we're going to do a group ride at Landegler. Jason's riding a gravel bike. It is happening.
This was actually my suggestion. Is the only way I will go to Degler is if I can do it on a gravel bike, because a full sutter is just overkill for the place. It's not needed. The best time I ever had there, well, actually I've had lots of terrible times, but the least terrible was when I did it on my hardtail. It was so much more fun on the hardtail because it's just not that challenging a place, and probably quite controversial to say because I know there's a lot of Degler lovers out there, but
I never liked Degler much. I never liked Degler. But I've spoke to people who absolutely love the place, and it's like
I prefer it on the e-bike. I'll be honest with you. I hated it beforehand, but on the e-bike,
I don't like all the climbing. The climbing's a bit too much at Degler, I think.
It's just an XC trail, isn't it?
Yeah. It's probably the most polarizing place ever, isn't it? People either love it or they hate it. Like nowhere else I can think of.
I've never been
there if I need a confidence boost, always, because it's where I started off at, and I don't know what it is, but if I'm feeling low on confidence, which I probably am after the last rides we've all had out together, I probably will have to head back there and boost it back up. But I wouldn't go out of my way to head over there anymore, not after what we've been riding, that's for sure.
I've not been back to Degler since that crash. That crash I had. That's the last time I went. So I've just missed Degler video up, but that's all old footage, that is.
Yeah. You'd think he would as well, because that's where he lost his wig.
So did I, and I've not been.
We all in the photo you were there. That was bizarre.
Is EMB the happiest man on earth? Yeah. No, I'm just nervous. That's all it is. On the screen, 28 people watching on there. It is definitely nervous. But
when am I?
Don't tell us that.
Yeah.
When am I getting an e-bike? That's a good question, that is. Because at the moment, I can't afford one, so it's not yet.
Well, funny enough, I've got a video you can watch coming out tomorrow. Top 10 things to consider.
Seen it.
Yeah. So this is, Todd, do you know those stickers that I got done by Essential Wraps? This is the guy that did them for me. Absolute legend. And he did the unicorns as well. On the bike, on the motor covers.
Yeah.
So,
it looks ace that video.
Yeah.
Awesome. From his comments, I thought it may be your speed dealer.
Rats in there.
So we're going to see an increase in stickers on dog poo bins, then, are we, in the next coming weeks?
I might just go around to that one of Jason. Oh, no, can I? Brilliant, yeah, because I'm locked in again.
I think I told you, didn't I? I stuck it on with double-sided sticky tape because I didn't want it to be permanently on there.
Did you? Was that because you were saving money, or you just didn't want to leave it on the bin?
Well, no, I wasn't going to keep it as a sticker. I wrote rude words and drew something on it. I mean, I'm either going to hand that out to somebody.
Yeah, it's you. You probably would do. Yeah, have a sticker. It's got all the swear words going on it. What else have we got? Electric Crotch Rocket, the evening, gents, evening as well. He started a great series. Everybody watching. He started off the MTB upgrade series, nominated himself Mark as well, didn't he? Yeah. So all these upgrade
to the party.
Are down by Russ. But there's some good ones.
I think Darcy's got a good point for me. I think you've got to bring Darcy in again here.
Just have a look. This one?
No.
No.
Lower down.
Lower down.
Lower.
Okay.
I think it's talking about me. It's all about me.
I'm going to answer that for you straight away on that, to be honest with you, mate. He's an absolute beep. When he comes flying past you, you go falling off, don't you, at Hebden Bridge?
It's the wake.
Yeah, he does actually go past
Jonathan didn't make it on the Lady Bower loop. Yeah, Jonathan didn't come on the Lady Bower ride.
No, I didn't go on that one. No. That's right. And yeah, ironically, that's the nearest one to me. But
you might be on about the one that we did. Was
maybe. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes.
Because you went past me, didn't you? Because you said it was revenge, because I went past you earlier at the top of...
Well, I thought he was talking about the one at Hebden, but you're right. It's the one at Hebden.
It will be that one.
Yeah.
We've got one here for Dave. Let's have a look.
How's the e-bike fun going? Well, this lockdown hasn't helped, and the fact I'm injured at the minute from window cleaning, so I can't actually work at the moment. The e-bike fun's not going well. So I've got to concentrate on paying the bills and paying the mortgage. I think that's more important, you know what I mean? So
how are you not sponsored, though? I can't believe that you're not sponsored by somebody at least. Somebody who wants a bike that handles all the crashes.
I've always avoided sponsorship just because I've been offered it, but I've always turned it down because I don't want to have to make videos. You know what I mean? I like being able to do it when I want to do it rather than as soon as you're sponsored, then it's a job then. It's not just a bit of fun anymore. Because as soon as you're taking money off people, you've got commitments, you know what I mean? You've got to do it. And to me, having commitments to do mountain biking and making it into a job, that don't appeal to me. Like, you know what I mean?
You lose the fun, don't you?
Yeah. I don't want to have to make a video because I've got to fulfill a sponsorship or commitment. I mean, if they come to me and said, all right, I'll tell you what, Dave, we'll give you $100,000 a year or something silly money like that.
You'd give it a go then.
Yeah, money talks and bullshit walks. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if it's just like a free bike, that ain't worth nothing to me. Do you know what I mean? Because I've got to do videos. It's not optional, and that to me is no fun. Do you know what I mean? So that just wouldn't appeal to me.
Yeah,
so that's why I always turn down the sponsorship.
Good question for Jason here. What's the backstory of the name Stop a Doodle Do?
Well, it's quite a long-winded one.
Lee Allman has said that.
Who said
back in 2002, 2003, mate and I were just sick of reading in magazines of how wonderful everything was and how great everything was, and everybody was just so image-led and stuff like that. And we decided we'd make our own fanzine, basically just taking the mickey out of downhill racing and the whole scene and everything else. And my mate came up with Stop a Doodle Do, and I think it was something that what's he called? Tony Blackburn said in the jungle when he was on I'm in the jungle, get me out of here, whatever it's called. And it just came from there. And the logo was, a friend of ours was a graphic designer, so she did the logo. And anyway, the fanzine went for about 2 or 3 years, and it sort of culminated us in us bizarrely getting an article written in dirt that James and I, the other guy who did it with, we wrote this article, we got our pictures and everything else. And it was, the maddest experience, because Steve Jones asked us to go down to Monmouth, put us up in a B&B, and then we were going to do a photo shoot the next morning in the Forest of Dean with a professional photographer, the lot. Anyway, when we got down to Monmouth, he said, my local pub up the road, they've been there for 20 years and they're leaving this weekend. He said, so tonight's their last night. So I thought we'd all just go up there and have a couple of drinks. And I don't know if anybody knows Steve Jones, but he likes to drink. And we all like to drink as well. And we got absolutely hammered. And went back to the hotel room, and I remember we carried on drinking. There was like bottles of whiskey going around and everything else. My mate Rick put his head through a wardrobe door for some bizarre reason. Anyway, in the morning, we got to the Forest of Dean. Photographer turned up, no sign of Steve Jones. He was about 3 hours late, and we sort of struggled through. We got these photographs taken and everything else. And when the magazine came out, the only photos there was basically my mate Curtis looking at a porn mag, me looking at a chain and a picture of Rat Boy, not Bryceland, a different Rat Boy, just looking confused. And I sort of got in touch with Steve Jones and said, "What happened to all the riding photos?" And he went, "Yeah, you were all shit." And that was that. And then after that, that was pretty much Stop Doodle Do came to them. My mate moved to Hong Kong. And I just thought, I'm going to bring it back to life again with videos and idiocy, which is pretty much what the magazine was about. Idiocy. Sorry, a long wind. I didn't say it was a rambling story.
So what? Good if I'll go that. Oh, wow.
So, what we on about next?
Struggles of lockdown.
Jimbo's got a good question there. Let's look at that one. Can you see it? 816 he sent it.
Read out
downgrade.
Everyone's been doing the best MTB upgrade. What's the worst MTB upgrade you've purchased or used? I know for mine. I mean, it's going back in the day.
Probably erased them. I'll probably erase them from my mind. It's so expensive. Mistakes, you know. I don't know.
Oh, I know one. A girl who fancied me bought me some like gel cushion for a saddle. Like she's really impressed with that. She's like, "Oh, it's this little gift I've got you." It's like a really fat gel cushion that you put on top of the saddle, and it's so no.
Where is it now?
Where's it now?
Sitting on it.
It's in his undies.
I was similar to Mark, I guess, really, but obviously I thought mine was the worst. They were like the LED lights, you know, that go around the spokes of your wheel, and then you press it on the light. So I put them on for one time, just commuting to and from work. I've never felt such a dick when I was riding past with these like spinning.
Did you not think that before you put them on? Or?
Well, no, I just didn't really think what they'd look like. It was only when I got laughters, and I was just like, yeah, there's a bit of an issue here, isn't there? So they went off and used them up around the shed, to be honest with you. They look good in the shed.
I never left my wheel reflectors on.
When
I had my Boardman, I didn't take them off for nearly 2 years. I was riding down with wheel reflectors on.
That's criminal, that is.
They said, you know,
that's the dork disc.
The dork disc.
Those in the dork disc have to come out straight away. Yeah.
The bit that stop your chain trapping it.
Yeah, I mean, just set your gears up properly. It's not hard. There's like a high and a low screw, and you're like that, and then you don't need that ridiculous plastic thing that gets it just looks ridiculous, doesn't it? If I ever, I very rarely buy bikes. I usually buy frames and build them up. But if they ever get anything with one of them on, the first thing I do is get the cassette off and just throw that thing away. Yeah. Same reflectors, just snap them out instantly.
What's your worst upgrade then?
Mine? It'd be back in the day, and I think they're actually all right now, but years ago, FSA components, we used to call it, effing shit alloy, because that's what they're made out of. And anything of theirs, it just fell to pieces. Stems, they just round out the bolts on them, and cranks, it's when you used to use the square taper ones, and literally they just come loose, and you tighten them up, they come loose, and you end up after a ride, and a crank arm would fall off. That's probably mine.
Yeah. What about you, Jonathan and Mark?
I don't know. I can't think of anything specific. I mean, bought things that haven't worked as well, but nothing that's I don't know. You know, fitter things. Probably my fitting that's probably done it more than things like crud catchers that don't. They just drop off halfway down. I had nothing really that I can think of. You know, not specifically.
When I had the orange Sub-Zero, the hardtail, I bought a suspension seat post. Don't know if you remember them. That thing was a nightmare because it'd get all loose. So when you're going downhill, the seat would be doing that as you're riding. That was a pain in the ass.
It wasn't your 8-man camera then?
I didn't have any camera then. That was before the days of cameras.
But with the angle it used to fit, you could probably see the nose of the saddle to check anyway. I love your 8-man review video. It's my favourite ever.
The first video I uploaded, to be honest with you, was with my brother's camera. Yeah, I don't know what make it was or anything. It was all the riding was on his bike, really, most of it. I think I used it for 1 or 2 of them, and we only uploaded them 2 that where the camera was on my bike and Bob's bike. And the camera footage was so shaky. I mean, it's on my channel now, the Buxton and Needale. Horrendous, really, but yeah.
Should we just, because I'm conscious we've got quite a few comments in here, should we just spend a couple of minutes going through the comments and having a look what they are, just to see what we've got? So, funny enough, Dave, this is a great video on that one.
Yeah, I still go to Bolton 2000 because I literally live really close to it now. I used to live about 5 minutes away. Now I live about a 2-minute walk, probably less than that. So yeah, I do go to Bolton 2000 quite regularly. Yeah. And
is that why you moved there, or?
Well, sort of. Yeah, that was one of the benefits. Yeah.
The pros, yeah.
Yeah.
Your MTB log said, "Fair play. Hope you feel better soon." I think that was in response to you getting the e-bike. Justrug has put on here. Let's get this one up on there. Question: what are your goals in terms of riding progression this year? Try not to crash in the wet's mine. That is if you set goals or have any. So I guess he's saying, what is your targets for this year, really? I mean, mine's learning to ride in the wet. It's fairly simple. I'm crap at it. I'm just useless. What about you guys?
I don't know if I should say mine. It sort of holds me to it, doesn't it? It's all right. I will. I want to get a KOM on a trail in the lakes. I've been close. I had a second. This is on Strava. I had a second on quite a long one, and I'd love a KOM. But the problem is, if I do, I won't be able to film because if I film, I end up talking. That puts you off, and blah blah blah. So I just have to take a day off and just try and get it. It's one of those things. I mean, I'm 50-year-old, so the chances aren't great of me getting it, but that's what I'd like to do.
Whereabouts are you currently on that trail?
The one I'm thinking of, I'm second. Well, I was second when I did it. It's probably slipped about 4th or 5th now.
Oh. So you got a good chance then.
Yeah. A part of it is I just got so damn fit, I didn't have to stop, I think.
Makes sense.
It's true, though, because I was commuting on 2019. I did 5,300 miles. 4,800 of that was commuting. Yeah, 4,800 of that was commuting. I only lived 3 miles from the office. I just used to sort of extend it a little bit and do like 20, 25 miles on the way to work and stuff. So I was so bloody fit back then that I could just keep going. Where other people would be getting tired, I wasn't. And when other people take a rest, I wasn't. And I think that's what it was. I was getting good results on Strava on long trails because I, not running out of energy. Short trails.
I think, to be honest, that's always been I mean, I'm not that fast a rider. I've not got that great technique, to be honest. But if you take it on the longer distance, I tend to, if I compare on sections that are longer, I always do better. So I think that's a little bit of degree of fitness. Yeah. And I'm not there at the minute because I've spent 4 months, not riding. But I've always thought that's been my skill, if you like. I don't know skill, but you know what I mean.
So what's your goal this year, Jonathan?
Mine. I'm not. It's going to sound very. I don't really set goals particularly. I want to enjoy my riding. Having spent so long off the saddle, I want to. I suppose I'd like to say I want to do more steeper stuff. Like we started to do a few of them, and I think I saw a question from Mitko saying about how do you overcome fear, and I think I'd like to be a little bit more, a lot more confident at hitting the steeper stuff, without a doubt.
Yeah,
you'll be out with us this year, won't you? Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, well, when all this things happened and gone, yeah, hopefully, yeah, absolutely.
Welcome to Jason's naughty sections.
Yeah, I know a couple of steep trails to take you on if you like.
Yeah. We know you do.
What about you, Mark? What are your goals this year?
Carry on where I left off. Really, I'm quite happy to hit more steep stuff. We need to get back to the Wreaking. I think. Is it Jimbo? Jimbo was on about meeting up with us and showing us a few lines. So more than happy to go back to the Wreaking and basically just push on with the steep stuff and things like that. Really. I'm not so bothered about jumping, although I wouldn't mind getting a bit better at it. But I'm not into like stroke style jumps or anything like that. But yeah, just
Rampage.
Yeah. And I guess, Dave, what about Europe? Well, what are your goals this year? Is it get back on the bike or?
Well, firstly, get back on the bike, get my elbow better, and that's really important because obviously that's my money as well for window cleaning. My main goal, I'd say, is to get a lot faster down steep trails, to be a lot quicker, because I've been riding with some guys who are like quite fast before my arm just got too bad, and they all say that when you're riding faster, it's actually easier. Believe it or not, that's what they think. That when you're really attacking a trail, rather than being like cautious and stuff, things actually just all flow together better, like nicer in a way. So that's what I'd like. Just get faster basically.
Yeah.
On the downhill stuff. I'm not bothered
Definitely,
about
the more speed you carry.
I'm not interested in the climbing, but downhill, faster.
Yeah, definitely. The more speed you carry, the easier it becomes. It really does.
That's what they all say.
It sounds like the daftest thing in the world, doesn't it? You know, because you're thinking, how can it be easier if you're going into stuff faster? But it just isn't. I think when you're going slower into stuff, you end up looking at things in the trail and, oh, God, look at that bit there. And, oh, how am I going to get around that? And you're picking. And because you're picking your way around, your front wheel can hook up and, bam, you're over. Where if you're carrying a bit more speed, you haven't got time to react. Just, oh, crap, and you just go over it and the speed carries you.
So when you're over braking on the steep stuff, especially when it's wet, you just lose control anyway. I found that out with Jim when I was riding with MTB. It was just I was over braking too much on the front brake. As soon as you brake on the front brake, you've got no control at all, and then like you can't steer and you just go. So it's just letting it go, let the brakes off, and have that confidence to just like be a lot faster, and then it all comes.
It's that inner voice, and I think it's what Mick was saying about how do you silence that inner voice that's telling you to go to pull the brakes, because that's what I have problems with. Or saying no, stop. But I know it. I know it's wrong, and I know I need to keep going, but switch that off, and that's the hard thing.
I mean, the fear it gets me so many times, and it's just in your head, isn't it? I find that if I'm looking at something for ages, I'm just not going to do it, but. It's just getting it out of your mind. I mean, I'm not good for any tips when it comes to fear, to be honest with you. I try and watch other people and keep listening to what they're doing. And then if I trust that rider, then I'll trust they know that I can get down that. And I think that's my main way of getting past fear is listening to, people that I ride with. So Jason, Jonathan, Mark, not so much Dave. I've only ridden with him once, in fairness. But everybody else. Yeah. Hey, go on, Christian. You'll be all right. No, I'm all right, mate. Thanks for that. It's just, I just listen to other people and kind of get that confidence from yourselves, to be honest with you. I haven't got it in me. I know I haven't. When I'm at the top of some of those steep stuff, I'm like, not a chance. But it also, if I've had a good ride before getting to that feature, my confidence is high. That plays a massive part as well on what you tackle, I find, for me.
Life full stop. That confidence, isn't it? You sail through if you're confident. Well,
definitely. Yeah. So Dave's Bike Life saying his worst upgrade was playing card in the spot. To make it sound like a motorbike. Brilliant. Who's this? Darcy's talking of upgrades. I've just fitted a works component headset and stacked my head by 2 degrees on my Scott scale. 740 hardtail shakedown in FOD this Saturday. Yeah, I hope you enjoy yourself over there, mate. We'll just stick to the flat roads while we are.
We'll stick to the canals.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be so nice having FOD or somewhere like that just within reach, wouldn't it? Imagine.
It's good for me because I used to live in Bingley, and literally either side of the valley is big hills and loads of trails, and it was fantastic. A lot of the time I didn't bother driving anywhere because the trails on there were so good, and it's sandstone, so it was grippy and it was fun. And then I moved to Chester, which is a bit weird because Chester in non-lockdown is great because it's close to a lot of decent places to go, but in lockdown when you can't drive, it's just terrible.
I don't think I'd have ever got into biking though. If I had to live where I lived, I might not have ever considered it. I just knew I got decent hills on the doorstep, and it was something. The sport was growing in popular. I thought, I might give it a go. bought a second-hand one, got into it, and it took it from there. But I don't know whether I'd have ever, you know, if I'd lived in Lincolnshire, would I have ever have considered it? Don't know, probably not.
Yeah. Another one here for I think Jimbo bought it. That one. Who was it? I saw another one on here, which was for you, Mark, that made me chuckle. If I can see it, here we go.
Hey, what's happened to Bob? to be fair, I mean, there was one weekend we went somewhere and he went and did some five-a-side football instead of coming wherever it was we went. And he had an injury, so it put him out for about 3 or 4 months. And he struggled to get his fitness back since then. He never quite got back to coming with us. Then COVID kicked in and that stopped him. But I have been speaking to Bob recently, and he has told me he is back this year when we're allowed out. So I expect Bob to be back soon.
Cool, that'd be good, definitely. We've missed him on the channel on there. We don't see his face, we only see it's like the Stig, isn't he, of mountain biking world.
Yeah, he don't like revealing his face.
Yeah. Adam, evening as well, mate. How are you getting on? Paul's Dexter Flexer. Paul's is aim to get back on the bike. Yeah, get back on the bike soon, mate. We missed having you out, to be honest with you. One for Dave. This is. I need to put him on full screen to see this, Dyson. Where is it? Let's get this comment out of the way.
Oh, yeah. It's the pale blue and grey one.
Yeah, and I've got to say, he's pretty good there. He's just saw that. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Adam's saying, good goal to get back on the bike. It's harder than it sounds. Easy to lose biking. If there is such a word. Not sure. Chi? No idea.
Yeah, not spelled like that, I don't know. But...
Yeah,
oh, my teacher, sorry. I can't spell anything anyway, so you're all right. You've seen my text messages.
But Guzzler, I mean, I think most of us can say this one. Since Mark put me onto it, I'm going to big him up, but theirs is one of the best channels to watch for me on that. For the music, for the editing style, for the riding, for the laughter. Want a cup of tea, lads? Poe, the falling pat. I mean, we're not.
I've got apologies tonight. I've got apologies tonight. I haven't followed. I followed him tonight about 2 hours ago, and yet I've seen them, and I think they're great. And I don't know why I didn't follow them, but I followed tonight, Bert. So relax. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
you're in for a
treat. Who is it last week you haven't followed? This is like a prompt for Jonathan to follow channels.
Yeah.
No. This has nothing to do with this.
He doesn't follow any of us either.
Who are these people?
He thought this was teachers for the PTA Zoom meeting.
Yeah. You have no authority here. Oh no, that's a local council.
I like that Snowpiercer as well. The second series has just come out, hasn't it? So I've just started watching that. And Dave, have they offered you steroid injections for your elbow?
Not yet. I'm hoping it just gets better on its own. I'm hoping that basically, if I don't do window cleaning, it's getting better. But the problem is, I'm a window cleaner, isn't it? So that's going to set it off again. My plan is just like use my other arm, basically. Try and use my other arm, and hopefully that will be enough to allow my bad arm to get better.
And if not, maybe just ask everybody to watch more of the adverts on your channel and click on it and see whether you can get you more money that way, yeah?
Or just put a big dressing gown on and just rub yourself along the downstairs windows like that.
And I think, do you know, that's something which does get on my nerves a little bit. And it only when I started doing the YouTube channel that I understood it was, you know, when you watch a channel religiously, so like most of ours, apart from kind of Mark and Dave, where you're below 1,000 subs, so we can't monetize or make any money from the videos if we wanted to. But it's when I remember when somebody then switched on the adverts, I was like, oh, you greedy gets. But now that I've done it, I fully get just how much money and time actually goes into making a YouTube video. And if nobody's watched Jason's video, Stop a Doodle Do, about sort of running a YouTube channel, you really should watch it, because although it's a total mick take at times, every single point is bob on. I don't think there was one that I disagreed with.
every mountain bike YouTuber could relate to that video and find the funny side to it as well, because it's about them, it's about yourself, it's about all MTB YouTube.
Definitely. Evans for alcohol. That's where that idea came from.
So we've got a bit of a legend in the house now for coming up on the next comment. So we all know this guy very well. He's definitely in our inbox quite a few times. Probably more Jason now, to be honest.
Oh, Jason, what did you miss? Well, we discussed Delamere. No, we haven't. We're saving that one.
You'll be able to watch a replay, Dizzy. You'll be able to find out what you missed. Yeah. But nice one, mate. I mean, do you know what? He's probably one of the most happiest people ever on a mountain bike, isn't he? He's just loving the whole industry. Honestly, he's got the e-bike. I love my e-bike. There's no doubt. I think Mark loved it, and Jason is obviously next up on it as well for the Lake District, so that'd be good.
Yeah, I'll blow it away. That map
is King of the Mountains, then.
It's awesome.
No, I wouldn't record it on Strava.
That Fox 36 suspension was absolutely phenomenal. You couldn't feel it. Unbelievable.
I think you guys would get more out of the bike than I do, because I'm not as up there as good a rider as yourselves. But for me, it's been good. But I remember I felt overpowered. I remember at Dimmingsdale when we went riding, and Dave, you asked me, this first time I've met him, and he went, so what? And it was at the top of that steep tree, the bit by just from the chained one where you sort of went down towards a tree and then you went down sort of a steeper drop. The one where you had a big save on it, Mark, at the very bottom of it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
They sort of looked at me when I bottled it, because I did bottle it, and he went, so what suspension's on your bike there? And I said, it's 160, 150 on the front. You know, and someone just gives you that look like, you should really be hitting this on that bike. I'm just like, he's pretty right there. I thought he doesn't have to say it, but I know exactly what he's thinking right now. And I felt like a letdown. So yeah, I've got you next time. That's for sure. I'm on it.
That's why I've only got 130 mil. I've got I've always got that excuse, haven't I? Not enough suspension. Can't do it.
130 mil as well.
You know what?
All right.
Conversely, I think I bought a bike with too much travel. I think I'd have been better with the 5 than the Alpine.
Although when I rode it, Jason, to be honest, I was expecting it to be a lot more of a problem on the climbs, but it was very easy to ride. I didn't notice it. It wasn't an issue.
Yeah, it does okay. I had a 5 before, and I thought, you know what, I'll get an Alpine, because why not? And the why not really is because I do quite a lot of big rides, and I just think 5 would have been better, but you don't know, do you? Really? I think next bike I get won't have as much travel, it'll have less, because I don't think nowadays, with how good bikes are, you need as much travel.
Yeah.
I mean, you see people buying like enduro bikes that are ridiculously slack, and they've got 180 mil travel forks on, and why do you need that? Unless you're racing seriously, or riding somewhere absolutely ridiculous all the time, then 150, 160 mil front end is fine. I mean, 180 is downhill bike category, isn't it, really? Downhill tackle.
I think they've created bikes that are so good. They are so fantastic, but they almost kill the enjoyment and the thrill of it. And I wonder whether that's behind all your growth in your gravel bikes and, the resurgence in hardtail, because people want that bit of the thrill of getting a bit out of control, whereas 180 mil, you're not going to feel it, are you? So, I don't know. Just a theory.
Next comment coming in from Mikko on there. So, which of your favorite YouTube channels? What are your favorite YouTube channels, and who do you like? Do you look up to some other riders, or just like their riding style? My favorite YouTube channel isn't actually a riding one. It's an Italian guy called Mario Paglini. Can't even say his name, but he flies
made up
drone.
Italian name.
Yeah. But his drone videos they're just amazing. The story they're telling, the way they capture it. I know I've shared it in our group chat sometimes, but that's actually my favorite YouTube channel, to be honest with you. Just because he's an amazing editor, and the footage that he captures on his drone is incredible. What about yourselves? Have you got any one favorite YouTube channel?
Oh man, yeah. I have, yeah. Scotty Kramer. So, you know, Scotty Kramer's like he's a BMXer. He's won, like, in the past, he's won, like, 10 X Games medals. But he had a bad accident where he got sort of paralysed. So he's like, they thought he was going to be a quadriplegic, where you can't move your anything, you can't move your arms or your legs, like you're paralysed from the neck down. But he's managed to do like physiotherapy and stuff, which is all documented on his channel, to sort of like get some mobility back. Like, so now he's actually like can ride a bike again, not as well as he could when he was before he got partially paralysed, but it's pretty inspirational stuff. So yeah, a big fan of that channel.
Well, sounds good. Jason, what about yourself? Any favourite channels?
I don't know. It's sort of changing the time. A while ago, I used to like watch BKXC videos all the time. Really liked it, and I still do, but not so much nowadays. If I was to pick one that I really enjoy watching, he doesn't do much now, but Johan Borelli, the Canadian enduro racer, because he's just funny as hell. Good God, can he ride? But he's just so full of life, and he just has his stitches, and he's just riding this crazy stuff out in Canada. So that's the one. As soon as his videos pop up, I click into straight away and watch. Nice,
Jonathan. What about yourself?
BKXC I do like. I think he tells a good tale. He's good with the camera and everything. I'll always like his footage. And I'm probably out of the age bracket, but I always enjoy Tommy C. I just he's appealing to a much younger generation, but he's fairly local to where I am. He always has a good laugh. Probably those two. I do quite enjoy him at Trail Rider as well. Nothing too far left sort of field. But
what about yourself, Mark?
Well, Jonathan's already said Trail Rider. That's the one that I watched every video of initially, because that's the idea I took for the chin cam, etc. So yeah, probably Trail Rider.
Martin's asking us, when are you guys going down Surrey Hills for a guided tour? That'll be on Jason.
I'll be down there. Yeah, I'll be down there sometime this year. It's been too long. It's been 8 years since I've ridden there. I need to get back. I miss the Surrey Hills. Brilliant trails. Got a few mates still around there as well. So yeah, I'm down. And Hindhead as well. Definitely Hindhead.
Is it good there? Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, it's not the biggest of hills. Imagine a sort of a bit more mellow reeking, but a lot more loam track, if you know what I mean. But it's cracking, and there's so many tracks there as well. It's great.
Cool. We've got also a trail tracker coming up on here. What is it? Making videos is a massive time sink. Yeah, there's no getting away from that fact, is there? It takes. How long does it take you to edit a video, Jason? Because you seem to do yours quite quickly in comparison.
It started off like a couple of hours. Now I don't know. It's probably knocking on for 8 or 9 hours now, at least. Because I used to slap stuff together and just hope for the best, and then there you go. And I don't put effects in or anything like that. I do try. You move from one, clip to the next. I try and get the best, what's it called, transfer, whatever it is. I don't bother music because I don't like any of the free music. I just think it's cheesy. I don't want like some crappy heavy metal on there. So, because it always, when you see there like heavy metal on it, it's like, ooh, look at me, I'm hardcore, I don't like heavy metal. And then if you don't ride, half decent, you just look like an absolute penis. And a lot of the dance music on there is crap as well. It's like, ooh, look at me, I'm down with the kids, with techno. If there was some really crappy, cheesy music, I'd pick that because it just fits my channel, just being daft. It's like the 2 times I've done it, I found some bizarre jazz music and put that in the start because it just seemed to fit really with just being bizarre.
I imagine. So I'm just trying to get this on here.
The road gap at Dallamere for 50 Twixes, Jason.
Yeah.
That's what Dizzy says.
Well, I think we all know Dizzy who's doing that. He dropped themselves in it with that one. I said in the video I did at Delamere that there is no way on God's earth I'd do that. I've done similar things, but I was like mid-30s, early 30s. I'm 50-year-old now. I don't need to go to the hospital. I really don't. I'm not that far off a new hip anyway. I don't want to speed it up.
Oh, wow.
I think you probably answered Mitko's question. You said, are we going to ever see Jason jumping? So,
yeah.
That's answered that.
If it's on the trail, I'll have a go. Am I going to go somewhere that's all jumps? No, because I don't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it when I did it, when I used to ride trails about a lot, really. It was, when we were racing downhill, if there was a track and it had like a road gap on it and doubles, then I would have a go and I'd practice them until I could get over them. But it was literally so you could get a better time. It wasn't for any real joy of doing it. I mean, we used to go out to Tilgate Forest, and there's only probably a handful of people who know what that is. And there was like doubles and stuff there, and quite enjoyed that. But as I say, 50, new whip on the way. Sorry to disappoint.
What? Oh, just in that video, the comment about from Adam, midlife crisis guy. So, what editing software do you use? And I can see, Jason, you put iMovie. I started off on that as well. I use DaVinci Resolve. I've not gone on to 17 because I've got a 2015 MacBook Air, so it struggles on 16. But yeah, I use DaVinci Resolve, the free version.
Yeah, I'm on the same, and I'm not upgraded it because it can barely cope with. It must crash. It must crash 4 times a night if I'm editing. And the number of times I've wept because I've just spent half an hour doing something and I've forgotten to press save.
Do you change your timeline settings on there? When you've got the cog in the bottom right, if you click that, put it down to 720 and put your playback to quarter, it will actually be a lot better. That's what I have to do on mine. I can't play mine back in 2K. It just freezes and crashes. But bottom right cogs, you can change your timeline settings. When you go to the end to render it, you just click that cog again, put it back into custom.
Remind me of that. Remind me of that. Not now, because I'll forget. But remind me.
We'll do a screen share on here or something, and I'll talk you through on that. That's what I did with Mark, basically. I did a little tutorial, didn't I, Mark, with
I was taught how to use Resolve. I haven't got a bloody clue.
What about you, Dave? What are you using when editing?
I currently use iMovie. But before I used to use Premiere Pro, but iMovie now. Now I'm on a Mac, and it's good. I like it. It's easy to use.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't crash. It very rarely crashes, and it saves automatically, doesn't it? So you never lose anything.
Yeah,
It continuously saves. Because that was the problem with Premiere Pro. When I used to have a Windows computer, I didn't have if you're gonna use Premiere Pro, you need a really powerful PC because otherwise it just crashes loads. And then, like what Jonathan was saying, you lose if you haven't pressed save, you lose a load of all your work and that. So I much prefer iMovie. Works really well.
DaVinci has its issues as well, though. I mean, I had that. I've rendered my video for release tomorrow 3-4 times now because it'll keep getting that media out bit. So you'll spend an hour rendering it, watch it back, and it's got this media out. It's like, oh, come on. So yeah, it's definitely got issues on there. There's no doubt that one.
I don't think I've ever had that. Not after I've rendered it.
No, that's all right.
I've had loads of issues with DaVinci Resolve recently, with especially the Lancashire edit that we did. That was a pain in the arse. Yeah. But the Landegler video that I've just done, that had no issues at all rendering that. No issues at all. The biggest problem with that one was the 3 week it took me to actually put together.
There's that video of yours, Mark, where it kept crashing at last minute.
Sorry?
Remember? And we said you were saying it won't crash this time. We said if it does, then
yeah.
We're not
going to go there.
He was going to shut down his YouTube channel and everything. He was done. I'm fed up with it. The bloody stupid thing, etc. Oh, Dizzy, never happening, mate. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. When are you going to let me try this e-bike? Nope.
I'm sure it goes. We're getting plenty of tips for other alternatives.
I thought you said something else.
Wondershare. No. Video shop. Yeah, we've got a few alternatives. I'm making a note of these. Forget Stick to Death of Da Vinci.
Did you ever use GoPro Studio to edit?
No.
Was it GoPro? Oh God! It's when I first started off with it. It's when I used to put stuff up on Vimeo. Oh God, it was painful. Just horrible. That crashed constantly. Never again.
Okay, favorite trails.
That's a good one. It's one I can't answer.
UK or abroad?
UK. Let's keep it UK for this one, I reckon.
Yeah. I've only done Gran Canaria abroad, and I don't class that in my top 100.
Yeah, no, actually, Jason, anywhere you can, because you've ridden loads of places. I mean, it'll be UK for me, because I'm not ridden abroad. But I know Dave's ridden in Morzine as well, but we only saw one of those videos.
Yeah, because like that was when I was using chest cam. The footage was crap. Like I think I had a Hero 4, and there's no. I didn't have like stabilization on it then. Like, the Hero 4 didn't have stabilization, so like the chest cam, like the chin cam, no one had even thought of that at that time. I think it was Trail Rider who came up with that, wasn't it? So you got natural stabilization in your neck, haven't you?
Yeah, I think it's Lone Rider, wasn't it, in Canada, who came up with it first. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, well, whoever came up with it's a brilliant idea, because I used to be on chest cam, and all the footage was just crap, to be honest. It was too, like, as I was going down the trail, there was a lot of braking bumps at Morzine. They weren't.
That's Morzine for you, yeah.
The trails were good, but there was like, they weren't the best maintained that you could imagine. Like, there's a lot of braking bumps. And it was just like juddering. I just thought, this footage was just crap. It was a good holiday. It was a really good holiday. It was a good time.
Morzine, Dave. There's two Morzines. There's the one on the Plenny, the main downhill tracks, and I'll be honest, they're shit. The real Morzine is when you go off piste. You set off down Plenny and you just keep an eye out for the stuff that cuts off, and it's ridiculous. It makes the Wrekin look flat, but God, it's
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some of it. There's one bit, and you go out to the shed at the top of Plenny downhill track. Then Dave, you'll know what I mean. You go sort of head off towards the left, and you turn to the right, round the back of a little shed, and then it sort of drops into a couple of berms. On that first berm, you cut through there, and in there, you ride along, it's a bit flat, and then it turns and it just drops straight down. The rootiest thing you've ever seen, and I mean straight down. It's bonkers.
we did do some off-piste on La Plaine, and it's really hard. Yeah, really.
Yeah. Some of the better stuff is, I don't know if it still is, but was on the Super Morzine side.
Yeah. But we rode.
Yeah.
So, favourite trails then?
Run of the Mill, and another one called Porridge Pot or something like that, and they were just insanely good. Absolutely brilliant. But anyway, I suppose, favourite trail. I only got for two myself. One of them is in Spain, and it's above Benalmádena, and it's called 911, and it's just gorgeous. Just loose rock. It just goes on for ages. It's quite pedally, but brilliant. It's uplifted as well, in a van or whatever. I'd just go there. I'd do that all day, every day if I could. And it finishes at a cracking little bar, which used to charge 80 cents for a pint.
Wow.
That's the real reason.
Yeah. And another one, surprisingly for me, is the Bridleway, because I don't stick to bridleways very often, but it's in the lakes, and it goes from Gridesdale Town down Patterdale, and it's just such a good trail. It's the rockiest, techiest thing ever. Beautiful. There, mine.
Nice. Dave, what about yourself?
I'm trying to think of a natural trail. I can't really think of one. So basically, my favourite bike park is Revolution. That's the best bike park in the UK, because we're keeping it in the UK. Isn't it? Morzine was obviously better than that.
Yeah.
But for the UK, I think Revolution is the best place to be. And then for natural trails, No, I honestly can't think of one. I just can't really think off the top of my head. Natural trail that stood out. Definitely Revolution, yeah. Or Black Mountain. That's amazing there.
I've not done there yet.
That's brilliant. Black Mountain. That's one of the best places I've been. You'll love that place. But it's like they ain't got all like you go Bike Park Wales. It's got all like the fancy facilities and that.
Yeah.
Like, Black Mountain hasn't got any like of all of that stuff, but it's got the trails are well good there. Really fun.
There was a really good trail at Pomfordog, wasn't there? Remember that one? The one where there was the big sort of roll down at the end of it. How bad was that? How bad was that?
To be fair, that is natural trails, Pomfordog. That's definitely the one. Yeah, we had a great time.
So I didn't get footage of that particular descent because I had too much mud on my lens. But I think you got some good footage of that, didn't you?
Yeah, Pomfordog was ace, definitely, man. Really enjoyed that.
I think mine would be One Giant Leap. I am really partial to that place, but it's close with Eastridge because I've got a lot of time for that after Jason introduced me there. I do like Eastridge a lot. But natural trails that I've done, Grisdale. I don't know if it was just the whole day itself, but the trails themselves were just amazing. And just being able to ride back in the Lake District where I grew up, it was, that was a beautiful day. That really good.
Yeah, it was good Grisdale was. I enjoyed Hebden Bridge though. You didn't so much, did you?
No, no idea why.
But that was cracking, Hebden Bridge. Especially the Love Tunnel, Ernie's Love Tunnel. What a descent that was.
Yeah, that's one way of saying it.
I think my favourite's probably the last three. Marine Trail. They're not the most technical, but there's something about the Marine Trail's last three descents I love. So
I was over there in the summer and I did 3 places there. And I've got to say that I was getting to the point where I was really losing the plot with it. I was getting really sort of peeved off with all these climbs and leading to nothing. And then that last section just does leave you grinning, but it left it late. I was really frustrated with it.
So it's all
to me, trail centres is Coda de Brennan. I do like it. I've been a few times there, and I do really enjoy it. Natural, locally, I'd probably say probably the route with Jacob's Ladder and what we've done, Mark. I do like that, and it's a good all weather ride. And
I quite like.
I've ridden. I think I mentioned to you. I've ridden that trail back when I was a kid. I say a kid. What was it? What would it be? 22, something like that, in Australia. That sticks in my mind as just something special. Just riding around Cairns in the tropical rainforest. Just the three of us went out on it, and it's just a really magical sort of time. Whether the trail was great, a few bits stick in my mind, but it was just the experience of riding out there. It was really good. So,
nice. Jason, this one's here for you, I believe, from Adam.
How do I know Hindhead? I lived in Croydon for 9 years and then in Wallington, which is just outside Sutton, for 2.5 years. So that's how I know Hindhead.
Cool.
Used to ride on there quite a bit. All over the southeast, in fact. There's probably not many places down there which I haven't ridden. Loved it. There's some great riding down there, and I think it's underrated. I think people think, the southeast, there's not many big hills there, and no, there's no big hills, but the trails themselves and the places they're well put together. I mean, the Surrey Hills. I mean, the highest point in the southeast of England is 1,000 foot, and that's Leith Hill, isn't it? And it's the tower that makes it 1,000 foot above sea level. But you could ride all day around Leith, Holmbury and Pitch Hill, and you would never use the same bit of trail twice, and you'd be blown away by how good the single track is. It's cracking, absolutely cracking, better than any trail centre in the country. Hands down.
Well, that leads on to this one, I guess, from Dizzy. Which trails were you all most scared of? Mine's quite simple. Every single one I go out on at the moment, every single one that I face, you don't know what they're at, and there's and I think people need to kind of sort of understand that. I've come from a real trail centre background, Degler, Cannock. That's where I kind of got bedded in, and then myself, Mark, Jason, Jonathan all got talking. Jason got us out to Eastridge and Mark got us up to Dimmingsdale. And my eyes, after Dimmingsdale, I kind of went back and just had to sit down and like, am I really ready for this? That's mental what I've just actually looked at there. So now on, I look forward to every ride, but I'm definitely nervous of pretty much every trail because I don't know what we're going into, to be honest with you.
I'm more nervous of the steep stuff, but at the same time, when you get down them, they're also the best trail you've ever ridden. If you know what I mean. I always crap myself top of a really steep descent, but if you can get down it, it's the best thing ever. So,
that was you and me getting down that Eastridge, the steep one. I still watch that video back and laugh my head off of that. It's that steep from sliding.
Well, the funny thing is, we then said at the bottom of there, let's go do that other steep one because nothing on that descent is anything like what we've just done. We'll sail down it. So
the one that Jason tricked me on, you mean?
Yeah, let's go do that then. And he says, there is a steep bit. He says, there's a steep bit, but it's nothing compared to what you've just done. So I just went in at it, just thought, there's a steep bit coming up somewhere, and then holy shit, just drops away.
And it's when you get to the top of one of the sections on your video, you can hear it in your voice. He comes around the corner, and you can see it's a steep bit down, and you just hear it, and it goes, "Whoa!" You're right there, man. What about you, Dave? Any trails that you're scared of?
Well, the GBU drop, I've been that because obviously I broke my collarbone on it. That was a massive thing for me. Try and do that because not only had I broke my collarbone on it, I'd been messed with my head. Like I'd been sort of concussed off it, and then for weeks and weeks after that big crash, I'd always lose my balance, my balance would go. So conquering the GBU drop was massive for me. And I'd say Stiper Stones, the Ridgeline as well, because that was insane.
Yeah, and that was mad, wasn't it?
If you ballsed it up, if you really cocked up, which would be possible, it was like just sheer drop off to the left.
Yeah.
And I think you're right as well.
You can't see it on camera, can you? Really, it doesn't look.
Yeah, it would be possible. I think if you really if your front wheel come off and you completely cocked up, you actually quite comfortably die on that trail.
Yeah, quite comfortably die.
Yeah, I think so. That was that serious trail. That Ridgeline and Stiper.
Yeah, it is actually that drop as well that you did. Yeah. That Emmy. Was it Emmy? Someone that did it. She did it, and then you did it.
He was not doing it until that point.
So scary. No.
Yeah, it's weird. It actually rides fine that roll, doesn't it? You know, you come up to it, and it's a piece of piss.
If anything, that's the easiest bit. Yeah,
that's easier than the bit before it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what about you, Jonathan? Any trails you're scared of?
The scariest one. I mean, I know Dimmingsdale did open my eyes definitely as well. But the scariest one I've ever done was up near Black Rock, near Matlock. There's quite a few trails in there. I think they're all a little bit kind of off piste, but there's one bit that's near a place called High Peak Junction, and I just got off and walked it down. I thought I was getting a shortcut to the bottom part of the trail. I got all the way to the bottom of it, and then you couldn't get out, so I had to push it all the way back up. But all the way down, I was thinking, I can't even bring myself to think about riding it. I just no. So maybe that's one for us for the future. But then on my own, no. Yeah. That was the worst one I've done.
Sure. That's right. Sorted then.
And we need to get to Warncliffe. Warncliffe was just for me, just right. It had lots of variety, and I think we definitely need to go there.
Before you go to the next question, my answer, Christian.
Oh, sorry, dude.
And mine's probably going to surprise you because
Degler.
Well, maybe not Degler, but every ride I go out on, especially if I go to the lakes, I'm nervous in the car on the way up there. I'm nervous the night before, thinking I'm going to hurt myself. I could hurt myself today, and it's what gives you that bit of adrenaline to keep you going. Every ride I go on, I always have the nerves.
Yeah.
So every trail scares me.
Oh.
Sounds stupid, doesn't it? But
no, I relate to that.
I mean, Oswestry as well. That was scary there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was
got my head stuck in a tree.
I made my mind up that I weren't attempting anything stupid before we even got there that day. I was in the wrong mindset to start with that day, and then having 2 crashes didn't help.
Any of you guys ridden at the Golfing?
No, and I need to.
Not ridden in Scotland.
Scotland trip's got to be on, isn't it?
Yeah, I was supposed to in 2019 with a bunch of lads from Cumbria, but they bloody organised it for my birthday and my wife had different ideas, so that was that.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what happened? Instead,
yeah, go on then.
My wife was like, "Oh well, you know, I'm a bit tired actually. I'm not going to do anything. Why don't you take Sarah, who's a big 5-year-old daughter, to Whiz Kids, the indoor soft play area?" So instead of riding in the Golfie with a bunch of lads uplifted, I ended up in a soft play area on my 49th birthday, crammed into a tube about that big. Awesome!
Did you have a Barbie and Ken doll with you by any chance as well?
Yeah, that's Cinderella and Gary. I'll have you now. I renamed him.
Let's have a look. This one's from Jimbo. It said, "Who's that Paul fella you did Reeking with?" That was with you, Dave, wasn't it? Wasn't that Paul Dexter Flexter? I think.
Dexter Paul. He's been in a few of my videos as well.
Yeah. Paul. I met Paul on a ride with Pin TV. So Pin TV did like a ride for like his fans, you know, like a group ride for all your fans sort of thing. And it was just kind of like a mellow XC ride around Longmynd. And, I went on it and I met Paul on it and we exchanged numbers and he just sort of got in with our crew, didn't he, basically?
Yeah.
But now
that's how I met him, because it was at Hopton when I first met him. When we did the Hopton.
But that's how he got in.
Yeah, that was true. Yeah.
He sort of muscled his way in, to be fair. Like, because I didn't know him before that, but he just muscled his way in, got my number, and then he's messaging me. I was like, all right, and he's obviously a sound bloke and that, so he's a good little member to the team.
I like Paul. Decent bloke, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's broke his shoulder now, isn't he? His shoulder's all. Is that better yet or not? He had a crash, didn't he? And he's
getting there, isn't it?
You're still in it, Paul.
He's
He's still on.
He's getting there. Don't forget the delay as well, a little bit. He's funny though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's still off his bike, because I did catch a comment earlier about when was on about me buying an e-bike that he's got one not doing anything at the moment. So I'm pretty certain he's still recovering.
Well, so if you break your shoulder and have to have surgery, you're talking like 4 months. But when you break a bone, it's 4 months, isn't it? And then if you've got to have surgery, well, it's probably a bit longer. Because I know that because of my collarbone, and it takes a while, man. Especially, and he's an older bloke, so it'll take even longer for him.
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself, Jason.
Yeah. Was it Jason who did the voiceover on your video, Mark, where he said about Paul, "Look at me, I've shrunk in the back," or something like that?
That's one of the funniest bit of ad-lib voiceovers I've ever heard in my life, that was.
It has to be done. So funny. That Will for his hairdo.
Will for his hair, and the pogo stick as well. Yeah. That was funny.
Right, well, I'm just looking at the time. It's 9:15, and I know, unfortunately, my daughter's going to have to go to bed, so I can drop out and the live stream will carry on with you guys in it. But do we want to knock it on the head there now, or what do we want to do?
Just one last question.
Was there any more questions?
That's a good one there.
There's one more question.
Dave's asked, you're allowed to go out. Oh, that's it. Where you like when you go right, when you're allowed back out, you can go where you want. Where do you go that you haven't been before? That's a good question, that.
Yeah. I think.
Before.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've always wanted to ride, and I never have, the Lake District.
Yeah, I was just thinking, obviously, I have been the Lake District.
I actually emailed you back in 2018 about it, Dave.
He's not got it yet.
We got chatting about it, yeah. Lake District, definitely.
Paul's replied.
For me, it's Scotland. I've not really been in Scotland. I've been once riding in Scotland. It was maybe Forest on a single speed jump bike, and it was shit. Sorry. And we were supposed to be going to A Forest, and we actually took the downhill bikes and jump bikes for some bizarre reason. Drove up to A, and it was completely snowed in, so we couldn't ride. So we drove down to Maybe. I got the jump bike out, had a shit time, so we went to the pub and got absolutely slaughtered. So I need to get back to Scotland. Properly need to.
Yeah, that's somewhere I'd like to go. Actually, I need to get up to Scotland this year.
Scotland's for me.
Yeah,
definitely like to drive there. I'd like to do more in the Lake District as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Snowdon. I'd like to summit Snowdon as well.
Do you know, I could have gone in the summer, but I was sort of a bit warned off by my wife. So you're going to be going like too long, and you probably hurt yourself. So I had to stick to the safe trail centre. So, but I was very tempted to get up at silly o'clock and do it.
Well, we were supposed to be doing it because Will was supposed to be sorting it out because he's done it loads of times.
I think all this COVID's sort of got in the way, hasn't it? I think if it wasn't for what's going on, I think that would have been done by now.
Do you know what? Actually, that's my number one, to do Snowdon. I want Will to sort that out so we actually do it.
Yeah, he will. I think Will is keen to do that. He only mentioned it a few weeks ago, actually, that he's keen to do that. But I think there's a curfew, isn't there, after May?
Yes. Yeah. So, that's what I say. It's very limited when you can go.
Curfew coming in? Seriously?
No, David. You're not allowed on the mountain on a bike from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m.
Nationwide sort of thing. Oh, bloody hell. All right.
Said that.
Let's have a look. And we did get, like Mark was saying, so Paul's replied.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the mention, guys. Not riding yet. Shoulder fracture healed well, but the legacy of the crash is a frozen shoulder that is slowly recovering. I'll get well soon, mate. We'll be good to
all the best, mate. Hopefully you'll be back out with us soon.
Deep heat on it. Get some deep heat on it, Paul. That'll unfreeze it. Dumb bastard sitting in the freezer. What do you expect?
Okay, right. Well, if there's no more questions on there at all, I can see there isn't. I'd say thanks very much then for joining us tonight. I really enjoyed it. I think hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. But
it's been good. Yeah, very good.
The next stream will be on Mark's channel, so make sure you subscribe to him. And that's going to be the plan here. We're not, none of us are really looking to gain anything from this, so we're actually sharing it out. So the advice is to make sure you subscribe to all the channels that are on here tonight, and you won't miss any future episodes. And it'll be quite nice.
You're going to put links to all the channels in the description, aren't you? So if you want to just go to the description, subscribe to everybody, click there, and then you shouldn't miss another future live stream. So.
And I think we're looking at every 2 weeks, are we? I think that's what we looked at.
Yeah. I will put something on my community tab, regardless of who's streaming anyway, to sort of what's happening. Give you enough notice.
And do that.
So
cool.
Excellent.
Oh, the last one, and we can head up your way. Yeah, we definitely need to get you up here. That's for sure.
Yeah. Does this mean
Southwest? Awesome trails down there. Triscombe and all that. I've been down there a couple of times. Fantastic.
There's going to be a few collaborations this year when we're let out, isn't there? You can just see it. There might even be a few races. Maybe we get the Bert Guzzlers up here to see some of our tracks. They'll leather us on everything.
We've already discussed this, and I think Bert Guzzlers are keen to meet us at Forest of Dean. I think that's what we mentioned. So that's a possibility that we could all head up to Forest of Dean and we'll meet up and do that at some point.
Even better.
It's funny you should say about racing as well, Christian. Maybe something to discuss in the next one is, do we all do a race at some point?
I'm up for it. I'm well up for it.
Have you all raced before?
It makes for great content, if nothing else.
But has anybody else raced before? Or?
No.
I've done Hard Rock, which was a race.
Me. Yeah, that's a hell of a race as well, Dave. Bloody hell.
Jeez.
Yeah, I've raced. I've done a lot of downhill racing in the past. I've done a couple of XC races, but I'd never ever do that again, ever. It was just.
I was going to say I did 3 back in the day. did a series of 3. God, I entered it thinking it was just like dead casual. You know, what's the basic level? You know, I'll not make a fool of myself. Oh my word, they were all dead serious, and it was tough. But yeah, maybe not that. Something fun.
Yeah. Well, that's one for next stream. Anyway, we can talk about racing.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
And do that. Right. Well, I'm gonna knock it on there. I'm going to leave us with the final clip that Mark put together just to seal the deal. But a brilliant night. Really enjoyed that. So thanks very much on there.
Fantastic.
Play out too.
Yeah. Cheers for joining everybody.
Thanks everyone. Yeah.
See you later.